Welcome to the 3 Slides series of videos. My name is Ed Lawrence. I'm the founder of Getstart-ed. In this series, I ask people to show us 3 important slides from their presentation on a specific topic. Our objective is to present in a brief amount of time the most important concepts that will help you land a job or transition to a new career. Today's guest is Deborah Raymond. Deb Raymond is the founder of Career Creations, a success-driven career counseling service designed to guide recent grads and career transitioning adults through the career discovery and job search process. Deb provides the highest quality of candidate preparation to give her clients a competitive edge in a challenging job market. For more than 15 years, Deb has guided recent grads and transitioning adults in developing their professional vision through assessments, creates a high-quality set of marketing documents for them, including a resume, cover letter, and LinkedIn profile, and then trains them how to effectively network, interview, and conduct salary negotiations. In this way, she supports the client in bringing their vision to life. Deb holds a Master of Science degree in Applied Educational Psychology with a concentration in college student development and career counseling, and a Bachelor of Science degree with a concentration in Human Services, both from Northeastern University. So welcome, Deborah.
Hi, Ed. Thanks so much for having me. I think
So
this is
good
a
to
great
have you.
opportunity for job seekers.
Yes. And before we get to the 3 slides, I'd like to just ask a little bit more about yourself. So you can see a couple of questions I've got for you. How did you get started in career counseling?
So my first career was in HR. I did recruiting. And through that process, I realized that I really enjoyed talking to job seekers, that we were setting up for interviews and so forth, about where I thought their skills fit best. So a colleague of mine suggested that I might be interested in doing career coaching. And then I got to a point in my life where I was ready to go back to work. And I took some time off to raise my family. And I took a program at Northeastern on college student development and career counseling. So that's what led me to start my second career in career coaching.
So who do your clients tend to be? And has this changed over the years?
It has, actually. My clients started off being recent college grads. I spent many years working at colleges in Boston as a career advisor for Northeastern, Wentworth Institute of Technology, Curry College, UMass Boston, and I worked with students who were graduating or going out on internship. I also worked with alumni. And then I had an opportunity to start a program with a partner doing a program for women transitioning back into the workplace, which then led me into starting to work with career transitioners. And from that point forward, I've done both. I enjoy working with the recent college grads still, and also working with a different population of people who are transitioning, either changing their career or coming back from time off from work and seeking new direction.
Thank you so much. Now, your slides are from your presentation titled Ace That Interview. Give us some background. Why these 3 slides?
I chose these 3 slides because I think it's really important for job seekers to be prepared for the interview. They spend so much time making sure they create a really strong resume, and then doing their job search, networking with people to, get someone who can advocate for them and pass their resume in, that once they get to the home stretch, which is, doing the interview process, it's really important to be on the top of your game and to give the best performance that you can. So I think that being well prepared for the interview is extremely important. And there are steps that people take before you get to the interview to prepare, which would be, researching the company, knowing who the people you will meet with, looking them up on LinkedIn so that you have some background knowledge of them. I like to tell people follow the companies you're interested on LinkedIn so you get knowledge of their company, know their mission statement, know if there's press releases and so forth. The more you know, the more you'll be able to share in the interview and more comfortable you might be. And then just understanding that, the night before you've already decided, what you're going to wear, whether you're going to the interview physically or, doing it on screen virtually, which has been a big shift now. But also, even if you're not driving to the interview and not needing to know directions to get there, you're going to need to know and be sure that whatever platform you're using, you're all set with your laptop or your computer to be able to get there on time and not hit any snags once you start the process. So all those steps should be taken as well, along with preparing for the questions you'll be asked.
Wow. Yeah, it's quite a bit for the job seekers to keep in their head, keep straight. So we ready to start the 3 slides?
Sure.
Okay. So take it away.
Okay, so the format that's used now for the interview process, if you haven't gone on one in a while, is behavioral-based interviewing. And this is where a question's asked that you can't respond yes or no to. You really need to give an explanation of sorts and give detail to respond to the answer. So the thought being that past performance predicts future behavior. So when the interviewer asks a question, depending, on the job seeker's response, it will let that person know, okay, if you did this in a circumstance that happened in a previous job, the likelihood is, you'll be able to handle it if you're invited to join the team that you're interviewing for. So they want to, see how you handle things. So it could be a question like, if you had a conflict on the job with a coworker, tell me what the conflict was and how you resolved it. This lets them know that if it happens there, you're going to be able to manage your way through it. So you want to talk about things that really highlight your strengths and show your accomplishments. It's really, the recruiter or the department manager, whomever, is looking to see, like, what value add is this person bringing? What are they going to accomplish when they get there? What are they going to be able to do for our company that's going to help us? So the more you can share that, the more likely that they're going to be interested in you as a candidate. And this is my feeling, though, when you are in an interview, that you shouldn't refer to we did this, we did that. Even though you're part of a team, you can say my role on the team, but you want to put it in terms of I, because you're the person who they're going to make the offer to and ultimately perform in that job, not the group of people you worked with previously.
Yeah, I've noted also there is a tendency on the part of the clients to not want to, overplay or play up their own accomplishments and sort of defer to other people.
Yeah, and I always tell people, this is where you want to brag about your accomplishments. It's okay to let people know that, you were, commented that you did a great job. Maybe you received an award for it, some kind of recognition. There's a fine line between being confident and cocky. Employers want someone who's confident. They want someone who got a positive result, but they also want someone who is a positive person. You want to bring positive energy to the interview and be upbeat, because they're looking at you as someone who ultimately they'll be working with. And it becomes a question of, can I see myself working with this person? Is this person, do I like them? Are they going to fit in here? Chemistry is really an important part. So you want to make sure that you can show that part of yourself in the best light possible.
We ready for slide 2?
Sure. So STAR also known as CAR or PAR, there's a number of acronyms, is a formula for how you can put together your response to a question. So it basically is, saying, look at, okay, what was the situation that was going on at the time, or the challenge, or the problem you were facing? What had to be done to resolve it? And then what action did you take to resolve the situation, and what was the result? Everything is accomplishment oriented. So they want to know, what was the outcome of your effort, and what can you tell them about what you accomplished? So I like to work with job seekers to say, try to put your answers together, your responses together, using this format, so you are focused on being accomplished oriented. You also want to add detail. You want to be memorable, because if 6 different people are being interviewed for that same job, what is it about you that's going to stand out? Why are they going to remember you? So as much as you can make it come to life, the better it is for you to be memorable. And it's also, I work with job seekers and use this format as well for creating your bulleted statements on your resume. It's just getting at a concise response that can demonstrate where your successes are and what your accomplishments have been.
Wow. I'm sure this will benefit a lot of people who may not already know about this.
I hope so.
Ready for slide 3?
I am.
Hey.
So I like to tell people that I coach, try to think of stories you can tell. Put it in the format of a conversation where you're sharing a story, because that helps it come to life a little bit more. And I always tell job seekers, you should know exactly what you want that employer to know about you before you've gotten to the interview, because if you can have that all set, then it's a matter of when you're asked a question saying, oh, this is where I would share that story. This is where I would share my information about that. So if you think of it that way, you don't feel like you've memorized an answer and it's all up there, so that when you get a question, you can just pull out what you want to share with them, what you want them to know. If you think about, how did you solve a problem, or did you achieve an accomplishment? Was it something where you took an initiative? You can show leadership ability. These are all things employers are very, very interested in knowing. What did you succeed at? Did you go above and beyond in a circumstance? Did you typically go above and beyond in your job? Did you put your best foot forward and have a solid outcome? And that can be a number of things. Companies want to know, can you save us money? Or, can you save us money on one side, or if you're on a sales side, can you make us money? But it's also, can you save us time? A lot of times I tell people, it can be something as simple as maybe you created a form that made it a better process for people doing that particular job. So, in essence, you streamlined something. It's something, when I say what was something you did that was innovative in your last job, it doesn't have to be that you invented a product or a service.
Okay.
Could be as simple as you changed the way something was done, but it saved time for the company, or had a better outcome. It will allow them to collect more data. Anything along those lines you want to share, but put some detail behind it,
It's really awesome. You can see why this is such a great overall presentation, which should interest our viewers.
Well, I think it's really important as I said, for clients to be prepared. And that's why when I coach people, I always encourage them to do a mock interview with me, to practice what it would be like to be in an interview situation. That way they get their nervous energy and nervousness out with me. If there's a question that they respond to, I might say, let's talk about that. I think maybe if you switch the order in which you said that, or don't forget to tell about this that you shared with me. It just fine tunes it and makes them more successful in the interview process.
Sorry, I didn't bring up these bullets sooner for you.
Oh, that's okay. Well, that was what I was saying about, knowing in advance what you want them to know about you. The other thing that I want to point out too that's very important is, besides preparing, the response you're going to give to questions, make sure you have good questions that you're going to be asking the interviewer, because one, you want to know when it's over, like, what is the turnaround time and what can you expect, and what other things you can share that might make them more comfortable with you as a candidate. But it also shows that you're very interested and you took the initiative to think about what was important to you to know before you close the interview. And then always make sure you get the contact information for the people who you've spoken to and send them a thank you note within 24 hours. Really important. I've seen more people not get an offer because they didn't send a thank you note, and other people who went through that process did. It really is a part of the process. It's not an option anymore. So don't forget to do that.
So viewers, you can see Deb is great at what she does. Mock interviewing, your marketing materials that you need to get started. And if you want to contact Deb, here's her email and her LinkedIn address. Anything else you want our viewers to know about you, Deb?
I would just say that I am very happy to work with people and help them move the ball forward. It's really a passion of mine to see people be in a better place with what they do for their career. And I've had great success over the many years that I've been doing it. So I'm happy to speak to anyone who thinks that they can benefit from the service of a career coach. And I look forward to hearing from people.
Thank you. So I want to thank everybody for watching. And remember, if you're looking for any additional free advice, I have a blog at Getstart-ed.com. Take a look. Feel free to contact either Deb or myself. And Deb, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Ed.